I'm Tracy E. Gilchrist, and this is Equal Entertainment. The writer's strike is over, but the cost of your Netflix subscription might be going up. The Wall Street Journal reports fees are likely to go up in the US and Canada after a deal is reached with the actors union SAG-AFTRA. It's unclear when that could happen or what the revised plans might cost. Netflix is generating more money by cracking down on password sharing and ending its basic plan. For now, customers can stream with ads or pay up to $20 a month, and users now have to pay extra to put a non-household member on any account. It might be spooky season, but it won't last long if the Queen of Christmas has anything to say about it. Mariah Carey is taking her Christmas classics on tour. Her Merry Christmas One and All tour is set to kick off in California on November 15th. Other stops include Denver, Toronto, Chicago, Boston, Montreal, and Philadelphia. The tour will wrap up on December 17th at New York's Madison Square Garden, and that is all we want for Christmas. Mayim Bialik is getting serious about bringing back the 90s classic show Blossom. The actor is currently working as a Jeopardy host. She told Vanity Fair that she and Blossom creator Don Rio have been attempting to reboot the show for years. She says everyone from the cast to show creator and producers are on board for the idea. But she says the reboot would not be a sitcom. Bialik wants to bring back what she calls interesting, deep characters from the show. Also, no productions can be planned right now as the actors' strike continues. Celebrity Jeopardy is back with some very talented stars. They're stepping onto the stage and competing for a chance to win money for a charity of their choice. Emily Hampshire is playing for the LGBTQ+ advocacy organization GLAAD. Hi, welcome, Emily Hampshire. Thank you so much for joining me here today. I'm excited to talk about your appearance on Celebrity Jeopardy.
Thank you. And thank you for still talking to me after my appearance on Celebrity Jeopardy.
I just love that you did this and you just went with gusto and you did your thing.
Yeah, I did. I mean, first of all, I was presented with, just for showing up, you get $30,000 for your charity of choice.
Right. And you were playing for GLAAD, which is...
I was playing for GLAAD.
Yeah.
And to be able to play for GLAAD on, the Jeopardy stage, that's a huge audience. Yeah. That was enough for me. But the sad part is that I really thought I could be a Jeopardy champion, Tracy. I actually, because I knew about it maybe almost a month before. And so I studied, because I'm Canadian, so I don't know all the presidents. I don't know all the states, but I learned them. Right. And I learned all the presidents. I learned all the states. I watched all Jeopardy. I can say now that watching playing Jeopardy at home vs playing Jeopardy on Jeopardy is the equivalent of watching sports at home with potato chips, yelling at the players, and actually being an athlete. So.
So you said you studied and you performed a rap on Jeopardy that you learned about the presidents, which is great, but how does one begin to study everything that could possibly be asked in the world?
Right. Okay. So I was thinking exactly that. Now I want to preface this by, I used a lot of tools to study that were amazing, and I don't want my terrible performance to kind of be bad for these things. Like this app Anki was so helpful, and it was like this flashcard thing. I used Kahoot, which is this thing for kids, and I really learned more in that month than I have in my entire life of schooling. I was also educated in Canada and in Montreal, so half of that was in French. So geography to me is all in French. But no, I used I read Ken Jennings' book. I did way too much. And the biggest mistake I made was doing buzzer practice, because everybody who talks about being on Jeopardy is like, buzzer is the thing, and you have to time it just right. And so I really practiced that. And the problem was I mean, there were lots of problems. I mean, lots of problems. But one of the problems was that I was so good at buzzing in because I was sure I wasn't going to get past that I kept buzzing in on questions that I
You
did
didn't
not know
know.
the answer to. No, I didn't know the leaf-carrying ant was called a leaf-carrying ant. I didn't know that.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
No one else did, but I just my buzzer worked.
Well, maybe you need to be in a speed contest next.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, next time. I mean, if there was ever a next time,
Yeah.
I feel like you have an advantage by just being on the show and knowing how different it is than at home,
Sure.
because suddenly it's like the time you are given to answer a question, it feels like time has been compressed there on that stage. And I watched the season before with Ray Romano had said he just wished you could pause Jeopardy like you can do at home when they ask the question. If there was pausing ability, I would get everything.
Right.
So
It's like motor skills and your brain have to be working together.
yeah. And you step on that stage and like your brain is gone. So
Yeah.
you should know that. You should be prepared for that.
Right, right. Well, it's like you're an actor, so it must be, I would think, like when doing live performance and you have to know those lines so well that you could recite them, hanging off the side of a cliff in a rainstorm. Yeah.
Yeah. The only difference is what I've learned both on Jeopardy and in shows I've done where I've played scientists and doctors, you can't improvise science. You can't, like, if you forget your line, you can't make it up, although I've tried.
Let's talk about the upside though, because there's a really huge upside, which is you raise money for GLAAD. And first I want to ask you, I mean, I think I know, but I want, in your own words, why was it important for you to raise money for GLAAD at this juncture?
I mean, I feel like it's maybe the most important time there's ever been. There's so much misinformation out there. There's so much, I mean, it's right now, I think it is life and death for a lot of LGBTQ plus people. And what I love about GLAAD is that, it's an advocacy organization, and it represents LGBTQ plus people in the media, and it ensures that you get fair, inclusive representation. And I do think that representation is everything, and even more so on that platform, that stage that Jeopardy is. Like, I live in Toronto and LA, and I'm in an arts community. I'm in a world that's very already inclusive, and all my friends are LGBTQ plus, and it's all normal. But it's not in the rest of the world necessarily. And I think that Jeopardy is a place where it's such a vast audience that there's nowhere kind of better I could have thought for that.
I hope you have credits saved, because iconic memorabilia from the Star Wars universe is going up for auction at prices that are a galaxy far, far away. The head of the Star Wars droid C-3PO is said to go under the hammer in a huge movie memorabilia auction in November. It's complete with light-up eyes and comes from the personal collection of C-3PO himself, actor Anthony Daniels. It's expected to sell for $1.2 million. The head is one of more than 1,800 pieces of movie and TV memorabilia in the auction held by Prop Store. The auction includes costumes and props from other movies, and it's expected to garner more than $14.6 million in total. You can watch The Advocate channel live by downloading our app in the Apple or Google Play Store. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel. For The Advocate channel, I'm Tracy E. Gilchrist, and thank you for watching.